Hi, welcome to VYAPT Growth Series, Season 2, Episode 20. And in our growth series today, we have with us Mr. Anuj Gupta, the CEO of Hitachi Systems India Private Limited. Hi, Anuj. Welcome to our growth series.
Hi, Pankaj. It's a pleasure to be here.
Anuj, we'll start with our first curiosity. Since you belong from the industry, what are the growth prospects of the IT industry and how is it working towards making a sustainable future?
I'm sure all of you all are seeing what is happening in the space of digitalization, right? COVID, it's probably one of the best domains to be in. Technology is of its complete transformation, right? We are seeing technology either businesses or destroy businesses, right? And everything around that in the amount of growth. And now that we are seeing 5G coming, the whole Web 3.0 we're talking about. If you really look at this technology stack, I think it's at the fastest point of, and as Hitachi Systems, I think we are at the right time, right place, right? We are does a lot of infrastructure for the digitalization of organizations or technology of the future. So we're really at the right time, right place, and not only about us, but any closely knit to this domain. I think it's the most exciting time. Yeah, but in this most exciting time as well, because at the rate technology is changing, is increasing, and the decision making is actually becoming much faster. So it's very stay relevant, to be really glued in with what's going to happen in the next 2 to 3. Skill your employees. How do you reskill yourself to really handle this on challenging, because people challenge is always there, and technology is changing much faster than we can really adapt or learn that technology. So it's very really apply ourselves in this time. But one thing for sure, I have not seen such times in the last 22 years.
Having said that, you talked about the kind of growth prospect, and in this pandemic, we've seen that there's an acceleration. Can you also talk about? You did talk about in terms of sustainable future. What are the case we talk about sustainable future in terms of carbon content, and we decrease this carbon content to the next level? What are certain things which you think we as an industry should do so as to contain this sustainability to the next level?
We are part of Hitachi, and Hitachi globally is very active in the sustainable development goals. And of the 17 goals, I guess we are following up. And as an organization, we are definitely putting a lot behind the green fuel. And from a technology standpoint, also with the advent of cloud, with the computing becoming more, I think the more of technology we use, we will have sustainability. Definitely is the way forward. So let's look at really the green that are going on around, how we can reduce the carbon contents, or we are looking at green lot of work around, which is going around green data centers, so high computing moving from small locations to the green. And across the board, there is so much. I would say there's so much more aware of sustainability, which was never there. And again, a lot of things are getting built with. So there are a lot of initiatives internally, also within the organization, that we are taking, where we are putting sustain. Let's build it around the purpose that how this thing can be sustainable for the future. So sustainability definitely has taken center stage in the boardroom meetings, right? It is no longer a point of discussion, and it's not about that when you want to do it. It's just about how fast. So that is where we are. But of course, always there's a flip side with technology, with the e-waste. Tremendous amount of e-waste being created, and every action. So we really, a lot of things that we feel are very environment friendly, but that we are seeing, which we can't even, probably imagine today, is something which is becoming when we talk about sustainability, it actually has to be thought through, and it has to be thought through with no problem, because we're trying to solve one problem and creating four more. So it's very important that you look at it. Cannot be done in a rush, where we've seen a lot of initiatives that people have gone into it with a rush, and then what the problem we were trying to solve, we've created actually a lot more of the other problem. Organization, we are also being very, very careful, very watchful, and diligence is when we say that yes, this is an initiative which will hold the sustainable decades to come, and that is how we are approaching it.
Wonderful, Anuj. So, when you talk the growth prospects and the sustainability, we'll move to our second question, which is around innovation and creating employment. So, my second curiosity is, what are the current and upcoming innovation which is happening in this industry, and how the industry is creating direct and indirect employment? We have seen a lot of employment coming from this particular sector. It's been decades now that we have seen, this sector providing a lot of employment. But how do you see this employment going forward, as we are talking about a lot of automation and other things as well?
As they say that AI is going to take jobs away, and about so much of robotic automation that is happening, that will reduce dependence on a process which was predominantly run by people, and which is a fact in terms of reasons. We are seeing that automation actually, especially in repetitive tasks which are in nature, we have seen that a bot or a automation taking over a lot of jobs. But at the same time, I think we are seeing more avenues open up as well. And I'll predominantly talk about the IT domain here. And if you really read all the newspapers and everywhere, that there isn't talent available, right? So relevant talent. So jobs are going to be many, right? It's about that job. So it's extremely important of people who want to be reskill themselves. They need to be in line with what capability is required. I always give the example that you might have 20 years of experience, but actually the 3 and 4 years of relevant experience which makes the difference and which makes the game changer. Right? Important to stay in time and completely unlearn, relearn, and important how you really get into the domain. How do you apply yourself? What is required to make you more effective in the job that you're doing, and what will give you it's always going to be a yin and yang, right? Automation will take jobs away, but then it will keep creating yourself. And it's again, if you from the millennials or the Gen Z, next part of it is, it's a lot about what is important for the next 5 years. If you are in that domain, so it's very important of how you hit that domain.
Okay.
Some volume increase. Pankaj, I think someone's asking for a volume increase. So. Can you guys hear me? Is it clear?
Yeah. You're here.
You're loud and clear, right?
Yeah. You're loud here. So you did talk about some innovation, and then you do you want to add anything else as well into innovation part as well?
Again, see, I said that there is innovation happening at all walks of life, right? And thing, either technology is either disrupting the way you do business, right? Today, digitalization, technology consumption has just become tenfold. Is really what we saw, where people who were completely tech ill devices have suddenly been on all tech platforms as much as possible, using GPay, ordering through Dunzo, Swiggy. So what we've seen is genuinely consumed in all form factors. So innovation is always going to be a key, and where we are seeing a lot of emphasis is what is the purpose for that innovation? Let's solve. See, today there was a time when you would just try to innovate something, but today a lot of innovation end game that innovation is going to change, or what is it really going to make a difference to an organization, to a country, or even for that matter to the way we live. Innovation is the apex and in technology, with 5G coming in, especially internet are going to be 100x, and the problem that we face today during a virtual call, I think in the next 6 months to 9 months. All I'm saying is that with 5G coming in, spectrum is going to be so much more different, because now you're consuming 100x of internet remote place. Now just think about what we can do with that, right? So next 3 to 5, definitely see a lot of innovation. Technology is gonna rule the game. We like it or not, in some form factor, we will be slaves to this technology, or we will be or aided by it in the way we live our lives, right? So, and a lot around innovation that's going to happen.
That's really great. We are going to see a lot of innovation happen, and this particular industry provides a lot of jobs and other opportunities to the new generation as well. We move on through to our third curiosity, wherein this is basically a rapid fire. We'll have 10 questions, and each question has to be answered in one word, maximum a sentence. Are you ready, Anuj?
Sure.
So here I go. We'll start with the first question to you. So, if your life was a story, what would be the title of the story?
Live life king size.
Live life king size. Wonderful. So the second one is what habit holds you back the most?
Sorry, I didn't get.
So among so many habits, which holds you back the most?
Good question. Actually, I don't hold my risk appetite. Probably the speed. Sometimes I do too many things at one time, so probably speed at a lot of time holds me back.
So speed holds. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So my third question is, like working on a puzzle or playing a game?
Game.
Which would you prefer?
Game.
Okay, playing a game. Okay. Now, what always makes you laugh? This was the fourth one. What always makes you laugh? There's something which always makes you laugh.
A good, or I think probably a good.
Okay, taking your point. What
I'm not
now? The next one is
to hear you clearly.
what did you?
Pankaj, I'm not able to hear you clearly. I don't know what is.
Is
A lot of
it
echo.
just one?
Yeah.
Are you able to hear?
Yeah, better.
Are you able to hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, so my next question is, what was your last search on Google?
Weight loss.
Who is your favorite cartoon character?
Tintin.
Okay, can you a favorite from a movie you like, a favorite quote or a dialogue.
The favorite quote is from the Avenger game, that you don't judge the people on their worst mistakes. Black Widow said to this thing, that you don't judge people on their worst mistakes.
Okay. Okay. So we had 7 done. Now the 8th one. What is this something which you are looking forward to in the next week? Something which
Diwali
you're looking forward
holidays.
in the next week.
Diwali holidays, right? It's a
This is
downtime to
very easy.
spend time. Yeah, spend time with family. It's just
What's
been
your favorite?
crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. What's your favorite day activity? The 9th one. Your favorite rainy
To
day
get
activity.
wet in the rain. To get wet in the rain. Wear my shorts, t-shirts, and out in the rain.
Now the 10th one is, what is happiness to you? What does happiness mean to you?
For me, contentment is high. If I am, it's a lot about me staying content, keeps me a lot happy. Contentment is about happiness for me.
Okay, so for you, content is happiness, you said?
Yes.
10 on 10 for you in this round. And now we'll move on to the
Thank you.
last curiosity, which is about you as a leader. What memorable lessons did you learn from your mentors, and how it has impacted in shaping your leadership?
So before I really get onto I always give this reference that if you really go back in history, look at the whole business evolution. So if you look from the 19th World War, right, and you look till 1990, at that time life was all about organizations, the industries, or the whole, everything was built on this. You work 12 hours a day, you go back home, and then it was all about how you could live lead to growth. And the whole leadership styles that was all about work, discipline, hard work, and that was the end result. And if you look back, and then if you go from 1910 to 2015, then came the era of passion-driven leadership. Driven leadership, it came to a passion-driven leadership where it was like, we can look at Bill Gates, where suddenly it was all about their passion. They were driving their passions. You could come in shorts to off from home. You could do flexi hours. You could do all of it. But as long as you were passionate and you were able to, the entire working culture that came about finding your passion and driving your passion. And that is what, right? And if I really look back in the last 5-7 years, and especially post, it's about purpose, right? Where people really come to you, and we hire people all the time. These young people always come to me that, what's the purpose? Why are we going to do this? What are we going to achieve? So it's a lot about purpose. Now, for my leadership style, I started in 98, and probably I've seen a little bit of discipline because I had a lot of mentors who were into that zone where a lot of mentors came in, where they spoke about a lot about passion, that you got to be passionate and really drive your passions home. And now I'm really trying to evolve with the whole Gen Z, because I really see how do you build a purpose in the organization. So seeing all, I would say that I've been blessed that I have seen all the three transitions, and I have mix of passion, mix of purpose, and of course I still believe that discipline is extremely important. So learning curve from now to where I am today, it's a lot about how, with a purpose and a discipline, to get where you want to get.
Okay. Now, in this, I would like to have part. how does humbleness also plays a very important role in shaping the leadership? I found you a very humble leader. How does this characteristics, is important in a leader?
So, Pankaj, again, there are two schools of thoughts in this, right? And of course, I come from the second leadership. I believe in humble leadership. I believe in, not the strict theory, but the more about getting people to work together and creating teams. But I've seen a lot of leaders who have been taskmasters and extremely dispassionate about how and they've also been successful. So, it's a lot to do with the that you carry, and it's a lot to your upbringing and the way you styles have their own pluses and minuses, and both leadership styles have seen, right? And I don't want to name arrogant leaders, but we know so many of them, but they've been highly successful. A lot of humble leaders who've been probably far more successful. So for me, it plays a big role. I am a people's person. I like, as you said, honestly, looking at my team early in the morning and their choppy faces makes me smile the most, right? So how I get people together and how we create together. So for me, humbleness plays a very, very important role.
So these were the curiosities we had, Anuj, you, and there were some phenomenal answers, and we actually in this field of the industry. Thank you so much for some straight answers with us. Thank you so much for being part of VYAPT Growth Series.
Thank you, Pankaj. Pleasure.